Hey, this is Vance with the Dirt Dragon. Today I'm going to be doing some maintenance on the tractor. Now my tractor, I bought it I guess 13 months ago, and in 13 months I've put about 210 hours on it. To me, that's quite a bit of hours. I didn't expect to put that many hours on it, but since I am using it for a side business, I guess that makes sense. I'm putting a lot of hours on it. But I didn't expect this. A couple weeks ago my tractor stopped. It stopped starting very well. It seemed like about 50% of the time it would start, 50% of the time it wouldn't. And when it wouldn't start, period. I'd sit there and crank it, get plenty of juice from the battery, but it just wouldn't quite kick over. It would just crank and crank and crank. And I'd let it sit, come back 2 hours later, and it would start. And so I started wondering, what in the world's going on? So luckily, I have a neighbor who's a diesel mechanic and who knows a whole bunch of, has multiple tractors and has his whole life. And so I asked him to come over here and troubleshoot it for me. And he came over here and looked around and checked my fuel and checked my electronics and checked my fuse boxes and, checked everything and came back and said, I'm pretty sure it is this part right here. It's really common, I guess, for this to go out. This is a Coyote tractor, but apparently, these, what is this even called? I forgot what it's called. It's a solenoid shutoff. This is a the solenoid engine stop. So apparently this little solenoid has a magnet in it, and they weaken, and then it doesn't fully open up when it's running. The magnet can't hold it open, so what'll happen is your tractor's not getting enough fuel, or that magnet's not pulling hard enough, so it shuts off your tractor. So it's the solenoid that's magnetic, and apparently these go out a lot. And so looking at it, Daedong is the engine manufacturer for Coyote, but apparently these are sourced for Bobcat and for Kubota and Coyote. They're all pretty much the same thing. So I went online and ordered a new one. Honestly, it was not easy to find. I thought I'd be able to just go on Amazon and get it, and it wasn't. I had to go to a parts manufacturer, for tractors, and so I bought this one, which is the same exact brand that's in my tractor. It's called Woodard. So I figured it would be better to replace it with the exact same part that's in there. So today I'm going to be switching out this solenoid and hoping this fixes my problem with the tractor not starting. I've lost several jobs because my tractor's been down because of this part, I'm hoping. So I did cleaned out the fuel tank, I drained the fuel system, and I put all brand new diesel in it. And I thought that fixed the problem, but then after a day or two, I went right back to having the same issues. So I'm pretty darn sure that this is what's causing the problem. But darn, this tractor's 13 months old. I shouldn't be having any of these problems. So I'm hoping that this is the fix. In fact, let me try to start the tractor right now and see what happens. See if it's still got plenty of juice to crank. Lights are coming on, the display's coming on. So of course when I'm filming it starts up great. Some days it'll start like that, and then I'll come out, in 3 hours, and I'll try to start it and nothing. So either way, I think I'm going to switch out this part just to try and eliminate the issues that I keep having. So, and I have several clients that are waiting for me to book tractor jobs with them, because the worst thing that that I would hate to do is take my tractor, unload it off the trailer, start working on their job, and then can't start my tractor, and it has to sit on their front lawn or has to sit out in their field, and then I'm stuck working on it there. So while I have it here in the barn, I'll go ahead and get that part switched out. Sounds good. Okay, so the fuel solenoid on this tractor, and I noticed on the Kubota that I was looking at the other day, my buddy's Kubota, his is on the other side of his engine. So here's the connector for it that comes through, and that's one thing that I've been checking to make sure that this connection is tight, because if that gets loose, that can affect your tractor from starting or stay running or starting. But this is the solenoid right up here. And I've heard some people will say, oh, you just tap on it and it'll free up that magnet, but it's not really working for me. The engine's not starting more than 50% of the time. And it's not, when I have it under a heavy load, it doesn't stay running. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch out this solenoid, and it's just very, very easy to switch out. It's just a number 10, of course, the impossible to find number 10 socket, number 10 millimeter. So I'm just going to go ahead and loosen that up and put the new one on, and hopefully that fixes my starting issue. Okay, so this is the solenoid right here that I'm replacing. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead, and this has a little safety clip on the back, so we're just going to pull that out and pull the fitting off. Yeah, I was kind of surprised when I was troubleshooting why this tractor wouldn't start. A lot of people said that's the very first thing they check. One of the very first things they check is to make sure that the solenoid is opening. So it's got a little bit of, weatherproofing on here. It looks like it's in good condition. This, green gasket is supposed to keep dirt and dust out of the connection. I mean, geez, this tractor's not even a year old, so that should be in good condition, but it looks there's no melted wires. Nothing feels loose. Tape is still on there good. I'd love to just add some shrink wrap or something on there if I could and make it a little more secure, but whatever. Okay, new shutoff solenoid, fuel solenoid in there. Okay. It actually sounds like it's getting more fuel, so I'm hoping that was the issue. It seems like it's running smoother and more responsive on the throttle. So I'm hoping that the old fuel solenoid shutoff, or whatever it's called, wasn't opening all the way because the magnet was getting weak in there, and I'm hoping that was causing the tractor to run rough. Because I have noticed it's been running a little rougher. And I just replaced all the hydraulic fluid, I just replaced all the engine oil. And greased everything and did all of that. So I was really hoping that would fix the issue. And I'm just starting it up and listening to the engine. I think it did. So let's get to work.